What's up, world? Welcome to a new episode of the BrandonJaneauShow. As you already know, I am Brandon Janeau, and like always, you can follow me on YouTube, man. YouTube channel BrandonJaneauShow. Shout out to everybody that's commenting on this upcoming episode that's coming out tomorrow night. Uh, Good Kid, Mad City versus Damn. Got a couple of crazy responses. Some of them been all positive, so it's pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to you guys watching that tomorrow night. You can also follow me on social media. Brandon Janeau Show is the Instagram. So is the TikTok. Brandon Janeau Show. And more importantly, if you just want to listen to audio, go to all podcast platforms. This is where this podcast is. So let's get into it. So pretty much for the whole day, I'm pretty much be doing podcasts because I'm watching college football, but there's nothing that I really care about these upcoming games. I mean, there's already been one upset. I'll be pretty pissed if there's a couple others, but not really pissed, but you know, you know, they really much made what they wanted to make out of it. But that's something Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning. I'll be talking about my brother Wine about that's coming up soon. But in that, man, let's get into what today is, man. Today's life and times with music. Uh, And today, like I said, man, I'm doing an artist. I want to do an artist today, just one artist. I will be doing other. I will actually be knocking out a couple of those episodes today. So I will be recording Life of Time Music, Bruno Mars, 24K Magic, and of course the verses between Kanye West's Graduation versus Kanye West's My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. So I'll be recording that and also a couple more episodes throughout the day because got an email from where I pretty much upload my podcast, and they're like, "We're gonna be at the office in the next couple of days, December 23rd, I think they said, through pretty much January. So we're gonna be slow on how we're gonna do things. So pretty much be uploading these things and pretty much getting them ready for the upcoming weeks ahead. I don't want to work like this, but at the same time, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I promise you guys at the end of the year, I'll be giving you episodes, and that's exactly what I'm going to do, man. So, um, and I don't want to be looked like a liar. So, today's episode is Life of Times with Music, and it's on one particular artist. I've been promising this episode for a minute. I'm going to do it today. The Weeknd. The Weeknd, man. Uh, One of my favorite artists, the leader of the EXO crew, King of Fall himself, uh, Mr. Don FM, the Star Boy, uh, the Weeknd, man. You know the Weeknd, man. The Weeknd, man. I started listening to the Weeknd, and yes, when Take Care came out, that was the first time I was introduced to the Weeknd's music. The Weeknd on Drake's album Take Care, which is one of the albums I will be doing in 2023. But when the Weeknd, when I heard Crew Love, the first time I heard Crew Love on Take Care, I was like, "Who is this dude singing on this? Oh, this dude killing it." He also did The Ride. He was on the end of the album with The Ride. He killed that song, man. And after that, I started looking into who he was and what artists and where he's from. And from Toronto, so that made sense why Drake would go get him and bring him on the song. And I thought that was really dope for Drake to reach the olive branch out because he's already the one that's on. Why not just reach the olive branch out to somebody that's already popping? Um, so I thought the Weeknd did an incredible job on Take Care. Now a lot of people say he wrote Take Care. I don't think that part. I don't think that at all. I think he was on two songs that really just fit him perfectly well. And I think he wrote those two songs. I think The Ride. I don't think he wrote Drake's lyrics, but I think the chorus, the hook, everything about Take Care, and of course the Crew Love song, which I think he gave to Drake. But and even The Ride. Um, but he dropped a couple of mixtapes before then, which would lead into his debut kind of album, really, which was kind of just his three mixtapes in one, and the trilogy. And the trilogy is still one of those projects that people still to this day talk about when it comes to his career. It's one of the best uh, projects he's done. I mean, like the fact that he just squished all three of his mixtapes into one massive project was incredible. Um, and I think that The trilogy has a lot of my favorite Weekend songs on there. Um, we got The Morning, 28, Rolling Stone, Valerie. Oh shit, yeah, he got a couple of bitches on there. Hold on. Holy shit, he got a couple of those. Holy fuck. Yep. He got a couple of them bitches on there. Yeah, he got a couple of my favorite Weekend songs come off of that project. Dirty Diana, he remixed Michael Jackson's Dirty Diana, which is one of my favorite songs by Michael Jackson. So to hear the Weekend remix it was kind of like, yeah, that makes sense. Um, 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 and of course, he got the Zone with him and Drake, which is another fucking fire ass song. With those two guys, which leads into but the first single off of the trilogy that everybody remembers, possibly if you don't remember this, is Wicked Games. And I remember when Wicked Games I first saw the video, man, and I was like, this dude fucking got it, man. Wicked Games is such a good fucking song. Uh, I was riding to it yesterday, listening to it, singing my goddamn heart out. This shit is still one of the best songs that I heard in a minute, man. It's been a decade since that song hit airwaves and shit, and it's still like one of them songs that you just remember, man. You remember where you were when you heard it, and I think that it's one of the best songs to launch his career. Wicked Games was such a good fucking song, man. And still is one of the best songs from the Weekend. Uh, you know, in his catalog. So Wicked Games was just a great caliber song that launched his career. Like I said, The Morning, 28. Rolling Stone, Valerie, The Zone. He has so many hits off the trilogy projects. He had songs with Juicy J off there, man. It was just an incredible body of work for all three of those mixtapes to find one place. The trilogy album was incredible. It was and I hope he doesn't take it off all of the musical platforms because that's where his true core fans really just go and listen and without this new Weekend, which I will get into, but the new Weekend that we see and hear, you know that gives us still what you used to be. And I think that the beauty of the Weekend is that when he first got into the industry, before we knew all about Abe, he was still mysterious. We didn't know really that much about him. He was just this guy. He was a presence that you heard the voice, you heard the songs, and you was just like, who the fuck is this dude, man? And eventually it just became something. So yeah, King of Fall pretty much was around that time. And he was just different. Go into 2013, he drops the Kissland album, which was technically the first real debut project of the Weekend. It was the first real debut project of the Weekend, signing to I want to say Republic. I think he signed to Republic. That was the first debut album, really. Kissland. A lot of people sleep on the Kissland album. I think the Kissland album is actually really good. Adapted. You had Live For with him and Drake, which was the last real song that them two physically did together. And I'm talking about like they physically did together. Like they even had a video out for it. It's on the Weekend's page on YouTube. Go watch Live For video. Um, but yeah, you know, um, you know, that was kind of like the craziest thing that was the last real song them two dudes ever did together. Um, that's crazy to think that. Like, goddamn, that's crazy. That was the last real song that we ever had the Weeknd and Drake together on that they physically created. But Live For Pretty, just fire. Belong to the World. A lot of people sleep on Belong to the World. That shit is fucking fire. Like that's one of them songs that you just like. If you're a Weekend fan, that was probably one of them songs that you like. Yeah, that bitch fire. Belong to the World was fire. Like I said, Pretty was incredible. Um, but Kissline I think gets slept on in his catalog, I guess, because they were looking for something and they got something completely different. I think Kissland kind of is the Weekend that we see today. Like, like he had a lot of that kind of electric sound feel Weekend, and kind of like that was what he pretty much created on Kissland. And I think we hear it a lot more now. But Kissland was the first album that kind of gave us that. But going into 2014, that's kind of where the Weeknd really became a juggernaut in the industry. That's where he really just found his stride. with a lot of people, and we could talk about the collaborations he started doing around that time. Our Nah remix with Ty Dolla Sign, Wiz Khalifa, DJ Mustard. Around this time, DJ Mustard was starting to kind of get that West Coast sound really popping. While G was popping, Ty was popping with that DJ Mustard sound. Ty Dolla Sign was also signed to Wiz Khalifa, so that remix just launched the Weekend into a different stratosphere. To me personally, that was a song that I think a lot of people really started to pay attention to the Weekend. In maybe some fields of music, but the song that really launched the Weekend, two songs during that 2014 time frame that launched the Weekend just into another fucking atmosphere was "Love Me Harder" with Ariana Grande, which is one of them songs. It is a dope ass fucking song. Them two kind of killed that shit together. I was like, yo, that shit kind of launched the Weekend, man. That shit launched the Weekend, man. But him being on her song, her album, really gave him that look. I think they would gave him the look that we all thought he was gonna get when he was on Take Care, and that reaffirmed like, no, this dude is truly somebody you need to pay attention to. He's one of those guys. Like he has something. Pay attention to him. And so he killed "Love Me Harder" on Ariana Grande's album. And the other song that came on 2014 that everybody knows, pretty much, if you've been sleeping on a motherfucking rock, is "Earn It." Like "Earn It" came out in 2014, late 2014, early 2015. "Earn It" from the Fifty Shades of Grey album, Fifty Shades of Grey soundtrack. That shit just blew the Weekend out of the fucking water. Like it just took that dude to another fucking stratosphere. He became a household name because of that song. Everything about that song just was incredible. Um, which led into the 2015 takeover of the for the Weekend. 2015 was just a complete and utter takeover, man. Like I said, Earned It probably kicked it off, but I can't feel my face. Just straight up motherfucking left everything ablaze. Like I can't feel my face was everywhere. You couldn't turn on the radio and not hear that shit. You couldn't hear "Earn It" and you couldn't hear "I Can't Feel My Face." It was those two songs were just iconically legendary, man. Them two songs are freaking legendary. And then Inches in, where he kind of then comes out before he drops his next album that pretty much really put him in onto another stratosphere in the industry, man. He drops "The Hills," and "The Hills" was such. I remember listening to "The Hills" when I first heard it. Like I remember listening to "The Hills" and being like, "This sound like Trilogy. It sound like songs that I hear off of Trilogy," and it felt like that. "The Hills" was so fucking good, man. "The Hills" is one of them songs that you just remember where you were when you heard it. The video too. Um, just everything about that song, and it's fucking crazy because the cover art is actually the video. Like he's bleeding, you see fire in the background, so the cover art actually matched the fucking video, which is kind of like that's ironic. I've never seen a cover art that actually matched the video. That was pretty cool, pretty fucking genius. But um, yeah, "The Hills," and then he drops what, the Beauty in the Madness, Beauty Inside the Madness project, and you can tell nobody about that dude after a while. Just this dude just dropped the fucking project, man. Um, um, Starts off with real life. Starts off with real life. Then it goes into the cult classic. Tell your friends. You go tell your friends about me. Like, oh shit, man. Acquainted. Acquainted on there. Often. Um, yeah, man. Fuck. In the night. Of course, "The Hills," "Earn It," uh, "Can't Feel My Face." What else he had that? Um, it's a fucking song I love. I fucking forgot that song. I fucking forgot how that song go. That he killed that shit. Ooh, But I just saw a play on football. Sorry, but yeah, yeah, so many fucking songs on that bitch. Dark Times with him and Ash Sheeran, which you don't listen, man. Like I said on the Ash Sheeran episode, to hear him in The Weeknd at that time in my life, those are two of my favorite artists still to this day. So to hear them two kind of come together and drop a song, and it's not the it's not the craziest song, it's not the most popular song, it's not the most talked about song, but to me, man, that was one of my favorite songs. Still to this day, it's still one of my favorite songs. You know, just because the level of success that I see them two have, but also just the fact that those two men decided to come together and do a song together at that time in their careers. Ed Sheeran was riding high with the Multiply album, the X album. The Weeknd was just starting to get his shit going with the Beauty Inside the Madness album. It just was perfect. It was perfect. It was perfect to see them two together and do a song. I actually saw a video of them doing it and like performing it live in the UK, which is pretty cool. So just to see them two perform and do stuff together, which is like, damn, that's crazy, man. Um, but he got some songs off there, man. And Beauty Inside the Madness, of course, launched the Weekend to another stratosphere in the industry. Like I just said a couple times, you could not touch that dude in 2015. He was just different. I think 2015 was the year where the Weeknd pretty much solidified that he is an artist that you cannot ignore. And I think that was one of those things about 2015 that I love. Going into 2016, this is where I actually think he had his best album actually. Now a lot of people probably don't like this album because it wasn't like Beauty and the Madness or it wasn't like Trilogy, but I think Starboy was incredible. It is actually one of my favorite Weekend albums. Starboy in 2016 kind of to me made me really be more of a Weekend fan. It was just like, yo, this was the album that I think that it mixed everything. It mixed everything perfectly. You actually kicks off with Starboy, Def Punk, and the Weekend. You think of those Def Punk. That's like the last time Def Punk actually did something together. And so it's kind of crazy that the Weeknd got that done for his career. Um, but you had that. You had Party Monster. You had uh um Reminder. Reminder. Cause you know me. Yeah, cause you know me. Yeah. Ah, yeah. That. Ooh, that. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Oh fuck. Reminder was the shit, man. I remember the video, man. The video with he had just a bunch of fucking people. Bryson Tiller, ASAP Rocky. Who else he was in that fucking video? Drake. Which at that time everybody thought them niggas was still beefing. So to see them two together in a video was so crazy, man. Travis Scott, like Metro Boomin. Like he had so many fucking people in that video, which you would be like, what the fuck is going on? Who the fuck? It's just like, yeah, man. Reminder, True Colors, um, Love to Lay. Ooh, shit. 6 Feet Under. Yo, he had a fucking hit. Like that bitch was incredible, bro. Yeah, I could play that shit from front to fucking back and not get tired. Secrets. Um, Sidewalk with Kendrick. All I know with Future. Um, I feel it coming with that point to close out the album. Yo, that album was fucking fire, dude. God damn. When I actually think about it, yo, the Weeknd had the best. Yo, that shit was fucking fire, man. God damn. It's songs I'm probably still missing off that motherfucker, bro. It's songs I'm probably missing. Attention. Ooh. Yeah, man. Fuck. Yeah, man. Yeah, Starboy was a fucking monster, man. Starboy was the best album, man. I don't care what nobody say. That Starboy era was fucking different. I mean, that Starboy era was fucking different. And around this time, he also created the EXO label. EXO label with Belly. and Nav, and he got those guys launched and kind of got those guys going. Nav has become a figure in hip hop. I think Belly's actually better than Nav, to be honest with you. I think Belly's albums, singles and shit, be way better than his than Nav. But Nav, I think, get the more looks. You know, he's kind of like a DJ Khaled. Actually, look at Nav and DJ Khaled. Do you ever see them two in the same room? I did. So I'm just saying. Um, yeah, man. Nav, Belly, XO just took over a little bit, man. Had their runs. Um, which goes into Nav and him actually feeling some way. Woo, woo. When he was going at Justin Bieber. That shit was funny. That shit was funny. That was around when he was starting dating Selena Gomez. So some way was just funny as shit. It was funny to hear that song and just like, damn, bro. This nigga done sung a beef. I've never seen a nigga sing a beef to a nigga. Like that is that I've never seen two singers like have beef. Like that was funny. Pop singers on top of that. So that was kind of funny to me. I was like, damn, he won that. I mean, he won that round. Um, but yeah, that was that was incredible. Um, which goes into his EP. Um, I do not know the name of this fucking EP. Beautiful Michaeline or some shit like that. It was like 6 songs, but those 6 songs worked. Those 6 songs worked, man. Um, Call Out My Name, Try Me, Wasted Times, Hurt You, Never There. Yeah, man. Yeah, fuck yeah. Yo, them 6 songs worked, man. Wasted Times was so fire, but Hurt You. And when I knew his shit was fire when I heard Meek Mill take I Was Never There and put at the end of Championship in like the Cold Heart Part 2, I think it is. That's him. That's the Weeknd on the internet. Like the beat is literally the Weeknd singing I Was Never There. So like Meek took that boy shit and just took it and just like did that. And I thought that was I was like, yo, that shit crazy. But yeah, man, I Was Never There is one of my favorite songs off that project. Like to be honest with you, I like Try Me, I like Wasted Times, but like Never There, and then it goes to Hurt You. Yeah, that shit fire. That shit was fire. Holy shit. Um, then before he drops the next album, he starts doing a couple more collaborations. Um, like one collaboration, I can't name the producer's name. He was also on that EP with him, who actually produced um Hurt You, and he also produced I Was Never There. Yeah, but you know, that song was fire, and then of course After Hours comes out, and man, After Hours was the shit. Um, yeah, After Hours was the shit, man. After Hours was so fucking good. Um, and this is where you know the Weekend and the Grammys started having problems. So After Hours comes out in 2020, March 2020. This man uh drops this album, incredible body of work. This is what a Grammys, if anybody knows, if you've been living on a rock, this is what a Grammys is kind of like. Um, the Weeknd got the opportunity to do the Super Bowl halftime show. If you remember this, the Weeknd got the opportunity to do the Super Bowl halftime show. The Grammys um, wanted somehow, some way. The way it was said was the Grammys wanted him to perform at the Grammys. I think the week after, and to yeah, it was like the week after the Super Bowl halftime show. He was supposed to do the Grammys or some shit like that. And so the Weekend. It's like 2021. Yeah, 2021, 2020, 2021 Grammys. And so so the conflict was that the Grammys wanted the Weeknd to perform at the Grammys, which means they didn't want him to do the Super Bowl. That's what they was the rumor, that he got the Super Bowl halftime show, but instead of them letting him do the Super Bowl halftime show, which they've let other artists do numerous fucking times, where you can do the Grammys in a Super Bowl halftime show. So this is where the problem kicked in, because it was like the Weeknd's gonna probably do the Grammys the week after. But I think because I think at the time we was in a pandemic, I think that was the other reason. We were in a pandemic, so they were trying to find a reason to kind of like keep everything kind of like close quarters. But the Weeknd does a Super Bowl halftime show. This is where the Grammys fucked up, because with this album, the album was actually really fucking good. The Grammys fucked up because they didn't even nominate this man. This man had Blinding Lights, which was literally the longest reigning song in Billboard history. It didn't even get nominated for a fucking Grammy. His album did get nominated. He got now no nominations when his album was literally one of the best projects of 2020 going into Grammy season. The fact that that man did not get any nominations because you got a vendetta because he didn't want to do because he had to go do the Super Bowl halftime show, which is a bigger fucking audience than the fucking Grammys. So instead of you giving this man his proper respect and giving him his awards because you knew he deserved them, you just completely shut him out. And then you come back with some bullshit ass lies saying, well, we already had picked the Grammys before we even had that situation. That's fucking lying. You know it was. But anyway, After Hours comes out, man. After Hours was such an incredible body of work, man. All Along starts off the project, like, and then it goes into Heartless. He has songs like Heartless with Metro Boomin producing it. Then he has Fate. He has Save Your Tears, which is a motherfucking hit. In Your Eyes, a motherfucking hit. Blinding Lights, a motherfucking hit. Uh, Escape in LA, which is my favorite song off the project. Snow Kid, Snow Child, one of my favorite songs off the project. Scared to Live. Yeah, man. Man. And you didn't nominate that fucking project? And then you look at the albums that was nominated that year, you're like, how the fuck was that not nominated? I don't understand that shit. I literally don't understand how the Grammys fucked up that bad with that album. That album was literally the best fucking project of the year, and you didn't even nominate it because you thought that he should do the Grammys over the fucking Super Bowl. What? Motherfucker, what? That is so fucking dumb. The fact that The Weeknd had an incredible body of work and you just try to fuck him over because he didn't want to do the punk ass Grammys. And now, here's the thing. There's a lot of artists that's going to continue to do the Grammys. But you got The Weeknd and Drake, who just are two of the biggest artists in the industry that's like, fuck the Grammys. Like, fuck the Grammys. Drake, like, they were like, fuck the Grammys. Drake actually put up CLB last year for a Grammy award. He took it back because of the boycott that he was going to do for the Grammys because of the Weeknd. The Weeknd is never going to probably drop put one of his albums in the nominations. Hell, he dropped the album this year and just didn't even put it in the Grammy consideration. It's that type of shit that leaves a lot of these award shows with nothing but fuck ups. And The Weeknd was one of the best album artists and had the best album of that year. And the fact that you completely just try to fucking discredit that man because he actually decided to better his career and benefit his career better if he did the Super Bowl over your punk ass Grammys was stupid. Fucking dumb. And I don't understand. And still to this day, the Grammys still can get shit right, which I will talk about in 2022 music review that's coming soon. But other than that, After Hours was a fucking incredible body of work. It was one of the best albums, and I think he deserved way more respect for that album than he fucking got for the punk ass Grammys. Um, which goes into 2022, like I said, dropped Don FM, which was an incredible album too. It has its moments where, like, clearly my favorite song off there is Out of Time. That is like that felt like Thriller. Like it felt like Quincy Jones literally saved that beat for Mike, and Mike just never got to it. The Weeknd, I'm not saying The Weeknd is Michael Jackson, But I'm saying like that when you listen to that song, it feels like you're back at Thriller. Like it feels like a pretty young thing. It feels like a human nature. Out of Time was one of those songs that you just remember. Like that shit was good. Like the first moment I heard it, I was like, yo, this shit fire. I like this shit is incredible. And I think that that's one of the songs that a lot of people love off that project a lot, man. Sacrifices off that project. I heard you're married with Lil Wayne, him and Tyler the Creator. Here we go again. Um, Jim Carrey just kind of just set the precedent for that project. By the way, his narration of that whole project was incredible, man. It was incredible, man. Um, but the Weeknd's also done other things, collaborations. Pray for Me with Kendrick Lamar. My God, still one of the best songs of that time frame when it came out, man. There's nothing better than that song. Sometimes when you just want to have an uplifting feeling, like listen to Pray for Me. Hurricane off of the Donda album with Kanye and Lil Baby, which I would love to hear Lil Baby in a weekend actually do more songs. That probably would be dope. I'm not gonna lie, that should be dope. Even going back to Kanye's Life of Pablo when him and a weekend did F My Life, Fuck My Life on that project, like was an incredible fucking collaboration. The Weeknd's done so many songs, man, so many things. Him and French Montana's had songs. Him and like I said, him and Ty, him and yeah, him and Beyonce. Like he's done so many songs with so many artists, so many various artists that you hear these songs, you're like, how the fuck did you get all these songs done? One of my favorite Weekend songs, one of my favorite Lil Wayne songs is a Weekend song. It's off of Dedication 5. Yeah, Dedication 5. And he's the intro. He's the intro. He's singing the intro. Lil Wayne's not saying shit. Lil Wayne's just saying a forgetful motherfuckers. Like he's not even rapping. I wish them two would have actually did that song together and physically did that and Wayne put a verse on that hoe and sold that shit. If you know what I'm talking about, if you're a Wayne fan, you listen to Dedication 5, you know what I'm talking about. Like the intro off that bitch is incredible. The Weeknd killed that shit. The Weeknd's also done other like he's taking covers. He took R. Kelly's Down Low and just fucking killed that shit. Rambo off of Bryson Tiller's project. Like he's done so much shit that you would be like, why is this man fucking around with this music shit like this? The man is one of the best artists in the game. Anybody that tells you that he's not or you don't acknowledge that shit, you're just living under a fucking rock. As his career has gone on, like I said, a decade plus now, because he started really 2011, 2012, a decade plus now. I think as we continue to grow into this world and continue to see him grow as an artist, I think we're gonna get a little bit more of the mixture between where he used to be and who he is now. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Now, my thing is this: can he coexist all of these things together and really put it together? I'm looking forward to seeing it. I really think he can. And I really hope he will. He's one of the best artists in the game, man. Go listen to any of those projects, man. One of my favorite songs off of Starboy is "Die for You," which is still one of my favorite songs. It's literally my favorite Weekend song. "Die for You" is one of the best songs I've ever heard, personally, by the Weekend. "Die for You" is such a great fucking song, man. Um, you know, uh, yeah, yeah. um, uh, no shame was the song. Shameless off of my Beauty Inside the Madness is another one of my favorite songs. Shameless is such a great fucking song. Yeah, man. The Weeknd's one of those guys. Like I said, Trilogy, the whole project of Trilogy, it got some of my favorite Weeknd songs. Pretty. It's just like the man's incredible. And of course, like I said, I would love to see him and Drake finally really put shit to bed and really do a project. I would love to see OVO XO do a real fucking project and they all fucking collab and they all got people they cool with. I would love to see that fucking project come to fruition. I would love to see The Weeknd and Drake do one for fans that love that and love when they first got together and did that shit for real, for real. I would love to see it. I get it that they're two different artists nowadays, but listen, man, if they really physically could put that shit together, think about all the shit they could do for Toronto, but more importantly, think about their careers and the trajectory of their careers after that shit. Because you can't hurt your careers more than what you know. you can't hurt your careers. I mean, you guys have pretty much done everything under the sun, and it hasn't hurt your career. So I would love to see that shit. I think Die Hard, Drake and the Weeknd fans would love to see Drake and the Weeknd do a fucking album together. So I'm still holding out hope for that. I'm like holding out hope for like Lil Wayne and Joel Santana do Can't Feel My Face. I'm holding out hope. And Drake and Lil Wayne do a project. I'm holding out hope. Those are my holding out hope projects. I would love to see it. So, um, man, all in all, man, The Weeknd is one of the best artists in the game for a decade plus. He's given us albums, he's given us songs, he's given us memories, he's given us moments in everything he's done, man. He's one of my favorite artists. He's an Aquarius too, so it just makes it even better. Um, so I hope you guys enjoy this episode, man. Like I said, be on the lookout for more episodes coming soon. I'm not done today. Clearly, I'm just getting started. But I am going to get something to eat, and I will be back soon. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. Peace.